Okay, this is idea 16, and it is it's called quick hits of things that may get someone's attention and lead into the fleshing out of a catalytic event for initiation to a relationship between a prize and a market. So, for example, with the Joyride theme, Get Lost is at the top, and then you see the Volkswagen driving, and then on the bottom it says, Find Yourself. The connection being that the way that you find yourself in this world is by getting lost. That the joyride, the ride to nowhere, the ride without a destination in mind, that approach to life, or that mentality, or that inner state, as I've said, not interstate, that idea, that state of mind instead of a state of the union, these things have double entendre meanings and should be exploited fully for that, and that's just one of the simplest things ever. Is one of these has to work. For example, that moves us to 17, which is Drive Alive. It's a huge, simplistic, very simple, maybe one that seems too self-evident, but when you talk about joy, one of the emotions I think you're getting to is this idea that driving a VW can make a person feel more alive. There is the back of the neck with the hairs, there is a chill with the release of dopamine in the brain, and that happens when we hear a good song on the radio, when we have that first kiss, when our team wins, the butterflies in the stomach. There's a physiological reaction, and that's also for driving. So I believe we should focus on that. But the getting lost to find yourself is also very interesting, because again, it talks to the idea of the wanderlust, of the idea of the joyride. Get lost to find yourself. Talking about life being a journey, we talk about things like detours and destinations, and the journey is about the journey, not the destination. Well, there's so many plays off of that. It should be a whole number, 18, which is how many ways can you play with life being a journey, and really also making the wiry statement that if life is a journey, it's a journey one drives with a Volkswagen. As if, to me, that is a very tongue-in-cheek way to address a cliched phrase, which is life is being a journey. It is cliche, but it works, and I feel like the joyride imagery connects you to the journey imagery, so you have to work with it. And just a couple other things. Other names for the end game. Like I said, no matter what we're talking about here, we're talking about ways and means to get people to a prize, or to dangling a carrot, a bait there. Obviously, the bait is ultimately buying the car, but in order to buy the car, you have to offer a free car, you have to offer a discount car, you have to offer that carrot thing. And to that, we talked about, why try and all that, but for idea 18, I want to say that, the other title could be the free V. I know it's called VW, and the VW is a great nickname for Volkswagen. But the other way to express it is like, you want to drive a free V, drive a V for free. It's not shifting away from VW, it's just an alternative, it's just another short nickname for Volkswagen, can be V. Because there's a lot of things you can do with it if you were to be able to use just the V terminology. But anyway, why I should drive a Volkswagen for free, why you should give a free Volkswagen to me, all these other variations of that. And at the end of the day, what I want to confirm here is the fact that, whether it's, again, a phrase like new lease on life, that would be a good name for a free lease that you get. It's a new lease on life. Volkswagen giving 50 new leases on lives. The imagery obviously being like it's a second start, it's a second chance, and getting a free car for a couple of years could help out a lot of people. So again, however we contextualize it, I believe that it's about deciding on what is able to be given away, and then working and reverse engineering it almost into a creative, because I like to know what it is that we are giving, so we can, you know, create a game, create all types of experiences with it. The last thing I want to say with this part is that one of the last ideas is that no matter what, every dealership should perhaps consider making one car that conforms to a vision I had for what's called you know, POV is point of view. So this idea is 19 is POVW. What's POVW? It is the fact that we've taken cars, at least one car from every dealership, and put into it 9 POV perspective cameras. And it's a very simple way of doing it. Imagine 9 squares, which I'll write right now. Here, okay? 9 squares is 3 and 3 and 3. Any way you look at it, it makes a perfect square. It's the perfect number. 9 is the perfect number when you look at thumbnails or mini screens. In the middle is the view from the car going forward, the road ahead, okay? In each corner are side views of the car from kind of between the passenger and the front, both sides. You know, at 6 o'clock we have the rear view looking into the compartment. At 12 o'clock we have it looking at all 4 individuals in the car. And what's the idea here? Well, the idea here is that breaking into 4 screens, we can reduce the perspectives of a car, where it's going, and the people within it, how it looks and feels, within a symmetrical, very, very, very eye-friendly or aesthetically friendly construct, which is the 9 thumbnails, and only the middle one, only the middle one is alive, or ideally, all of them are synchronized. So as you're going forward, you know, they're all synchronized, so if you click on one, you know, it can get to be the whole screen, but you're seeing this car move in a kind of fluid symmetry where, you know, whether it's the front road coming or the road that's right behind you, that's represented both within 12 o'clock, within center, and within 6 o'clock positions of these things. And so again, it sounds like, oh, we're putting cameras in cars. Yeah, but we're putting cameras in precise locations to create a precise effect, which is a virtuality that can be controlled by the selection of which cam you want to make larger. These are HD cams that have wide angle views, and like again, 9 GoPros would be no expense, no big deal, and we could just do it with one dealership and get enough footage for what I'm talking about, which is giving that person an experience of the VW any way we can to make them want to come in and do it for real. And this is another way of doing it. That 19, that's a strong one, POVW.